Hi, David Oud here, and this video is about an SEO audit. Doing an SEO audit for your site and for your business in general. Sometimes people have multiple websites, or sometimes people have no websites. So there's several different paths that can branch off of this, but this is the general path for if you were to contact me and ask me to take a look at your site. What am I going to look at? What kind of questions am I going to ask? And just to give you a little bit of an overview of what you can expect. Right now, at the time of this time that I'm shooting this video, it's free, but I'm considering making it paid up to $2,000. I do know someone who charges between $2,000 and $3,000, and sometimes more, but usually between $2,000 and $3,000 for these reports. So just keep that in mind. If you see this video and at a later date, and it does cost you money, well, that's okay. That's the way I've got it set up. So first of all, it involves you contacting me, obviously, and then there's several questions I have to ask, and this is usually best done with a phone call. Through email, it's okay. I do have a discovery form on my website that can streamline this a little bit, but I do have some questions, and a lot of times there's business-specific things. Every business is a little bit different, sometimes a lot different, even within the same market. Sometimes the way that you go about your business affects how you should set up your website and your SEO. So that's why your business model is important. I do consider myself to be a student of business and economics in general, and so I do like to hear about people's business models, and I find it interesting, and I think it's important for me to understand where I can provide the most value for your business, because if I'm sending you customers that are maybe your least valuable customers, yeah, they're okay, and I'm ignoring your most valuable customers because I don't understand your business model, that's important. So asking questions about your business model is really important, and I think I'm pretty good at getting quickly to the point of where I understand where the best pain points or value points are in your business. It's very important for me to understand what areas you serve. Some people, maybe they serve just like a little area right here, and some people, they'll serve this whole area, and there's different things that you would do under those different circumstances. So this is very important. Some people serve the whole US, and people come to me who serve Australia or England or the whole world, and so knowing exactly what area you're willing to receive a phone call or a contact or a purchase order from is very important to creating a plan. And then this kind of goes hand in hand with your business model, but what's your market description? What exactly are you trying to target? Who are you trying to target? What are your most profitable products and services? Gross profit per sale, this is really important. If you make $5 per sale versus $5,000 per sale, this is going to affect my analysis when I go and I look to see, is this something where I can provide them with enough value to justify hiring me? This is important. If you run a burger shop, a local burger shop, where each value per sale, the gross profit of, let's say your average bill is $20 and your profit on that's $5, that's going to make it hard. But I do have some customers where they sell things that are $50,000. And so obviously that's going to make a big difference, and I'm not going to need to send them nearly as much traffic for it to be for them to make a lot of money off of me. I love videos, so if you're making any videos, that's great. And what kind of content are you creating? Are you willing to create content? Are you wanting me to create content? I generally do not like to create content, mostly because it comes out better when the client creates it and they can do it faster. But I do have consulting. If you hire me, there's consulting that it comes with and training that shows you how to create very fast, very good content. Is your website in WordPress? This is important. It's not critical. My web design team has a lot of experience with all sorts of different content management systems. WordPress just makes it less expensive and faster, and I have proprietary tools that work on WordPress, and so WordPress is definitely better. It saves you money, it saves me time, everybody wins. And then sometimes it's just miscellaneous business-specific needs and wants that aren't really covered in my generic list. So from this point forward, my OPA or online presence analysis, this is where the video starts. So I've done this research, we've talked, and then I get back and I do a lot of research, and these are the steps that I go through, and then I show you, specific to your website, what it looks like. So first I'm going to look at your site. Do you have a call to action? This is important. If you don't have a phone number on there, that's easy to find, then you're losing business in a lot of cases, because if people have to go and look for how to contact you, they're already, they don't have that kind of patience. I have another word for this, but it wouldn't make sense to you. So relevancy boosting, this has to do with how your website is organized and how it's interlinked. And if you interlink it properly, you get a really big relevancy boost, and you need maybe 80 to 90% less off page to get the same results, because basically Google looks at each individual page, and it knows exactly what it's about and what it's most relevant to. And drop-down menus are related to this. I won't go into detail about whether or not, why exactly, but it does hurt your relevancy if you do it improperly, and generally drop-down menus are not a good idea from an SEO standpoint. Then I'll take your website, look at what you've done, and also what we talked about, and I'll build a kind of a basic keyword list, maybe of 5 to 20 basic keywords to take and put into, this is actually the GKT is the Google Keyword Tool. I don't know if you've seen this before, but what I'll do is I'll put that in, and then I'll download it, and it usually gives about 800 keywords, and sometimes I'll do that for two or three different times, so sometimes it's quite a bit more than 800 keywords, and I pull it into Excel. I have a lot of experience with Excel and using it to filter and clean up and delete and mark up keywords that we want and don't want, and we can also analyze a lot of data. It gives us the actual search volume, so you got right here 480 times a month. And that's important for, I combine that analysis with your gross profit per sale to say, if I think that if we really do really well with SEO and you still can only make $500 a month off of it, well, that's just not going to be worth it. But if the numbers show we do really good with SEO and you can make $50,000 a month, which is not another question for some people or more, then yeah, it's going to be a lot more reasonable for you to hire me, because you can still make a lot of money off of what I do. Okay, back up. So SEMRush, this is actually a website called SEMRush.com. It's spelled exactly like that. And this is just a quick screenshot of one piece of the information that I get from there. So I can see, like, this is the case of a site that was doing okay. It got penalized, and then with a recovery process, it's come back. So you can see this is organic search traffic. Now, it's not perfect. It doesn't know everything, but it generally gives a pretty good idea. At this point, there was a lot less search traffic, and then there's a lot more here. The trend is correct. And so this is important for me to understanding. Is your site penalized? What are you ranking for right now? And so what kind of opportunities we have? Because if you're ranking for a lot of things right now, let's say you got a lot of mid first page or second page rankings, that's actually a really great opportunity, because going from number 5 to number 1, that's going to provide you, for that single search phrase, that's going to provide you with maybe 5 to 10 times the amount of traffic, because the number 1 spot gets, in my experience, about 35% of the clicks. 35% of the people click. Now that can vary. That can go all the way over 50% or as low as 20%, but generally 35%. And at the number 5 spot, you're looking at maybe 3 to 7%, somewhere around 5%. And so you think about it, it could be a huge difference just to move up a couple keywords. So knowing what you're ranking for, again, that's part of this. This is SEMRush does show rankings. I have another alternate sources where I pull rankings for your site, just to see what's going on and see what kind of opportunities we have. The next step is to actually look at the off-page SEO. So there's 2 major pieces to SEO, and it's what's going on your site and then what's going on off your site. And what we want to do is we want to look at these main metrics. Domain authority is huge. Citation flow and trust flow, these kind of go hand in hand. These have to be kind of matched together, especially trust flow is really important. It's related to domain authority. GI stands for Google index pages. How many pages do you have indexed in Google? If Google has 0 pages indexed, then officially you're de-indexed, and so that means you're probably penalized. So that's something we want to know. Generally, the higher the number, the better. How old is your domain? Age has a little bit of an effect on your site, not as much as it used to, but it's one of those things where a brand new site is going to take a little bit longer to rank than an age domain, a domain that's 10 years old, because Google trusts older domains more. But it's not impossible. It's just something we want to look at. And then LRD stands for linking root domains. So this is how many different unique domains are linking to your site. And this is a very important metric. I won't go into the details here. I do have some other videos on off-page SEO where you can look to understand a little bit more about that. And so with these metrics, I can get a really good idea of what's going on, especially when I combine it with, what's going on here. So let's say you've been penalized and it's still that way, and you've got like a lot of different links, and your trust flow is low. I'm going to be able to figure things out pretty quickly. So there's another part of off-page called anchor text. Really, this should be anchor text. And anchor text has to do with let's say I were to link, let's say this was a link to a site, and it was underlined and bolded on a website, and I were to click on it. That the anchor text here would be text distribution. Now, it used to be, it's still important, but it used to be if you sent 1,000 links to your site with Dallas Dentist as the anchor text, you'd rank really well for Dallas Dentist. But a couple years ago, Google's algorithm was able to figure out, hey, that's not natural, and so you get penalized for that now. And so a lot of people who have done previous SEO have a really bad anchor text distribution that just is completely unnatural. And what we do, if that's the case, then we need to seriously consider a disavow. In fact, we would be, in a lot of cases, I will say, if you don't do a disavow, then I won't work with you because I can't be responsible for the results. And I've had cases where previous SEO has killed a project because the disavow wasn't done. So I won't ever do that again. They didn't want to do it. Competition analysis. Now, this is important in a few different ways. It's not a 100% accurate process, so I don't spend too much time on it because really good competitors, sometimes you can't really, they're good at obfuscating or making it, throwing up smoke screens as to exactly what they're doing. Just like, if you were to hire me, it's going to be difficult for competitors to kind of figure out exactly what we're doing. But it is good to take a quick look at it and see kind of what the landscape is, especially if there's Google Maps in the listings, those little bubbles of the local listings. That's important. And then, is it really competitive? Is it uncompetitive? What kind of opportunities do we have? And real quick, we just want to look at, is your site mobile friendly, and is it fast enough? And this is more important in some markets and less important in others. In some markets, I don't think mobile is really that important at all. But in some markets, it's absolutely critical. And if your site is really slow, Google can penalize that. And it's more that, in my mind, it's more that the visitors just don't respond well. If your site takes 15 seconds to load, you think people are going to wait around for 15 seconds? So Google's going to recognize that. They're going to, let's say they send a visitor to your site, they stay for 3 seconds or 10 seconds, and then they go back. And that's like a really common pattern. Google's going to see that, and they're going to go back and they're going to click on another result, and they're going to take that result that they clicked on and stayed on longer, and they're going to put that above you, and eventually it's going to really hurt your rankings. So we want to make sure that, especially if you're losing rankings, to see if you have a slow site. Okay. Also in the video, I'll build a plan for you, and the overview of the plan is, there's two main pieces. You got the on-page and research, and then you got the off-page. And so, are we going to need to do a disavow? Technically, this is kind of part of off-page, but you really put it in with the research and on-page because it needs to be done right up front and pretty quickly. And the disavow process, sometimes we can see results in as little as a week, and sometimes faster, but usually within a few weeks, if the off-page that we're cleaning up was not the reason why you were ranking, but it just was hurting you, and you've got other good things helping you, then you can see a recovery in rankings very quickly, again, like within a week as well. But, we really have to start with the research. We really have to look at what is your market typing in, what do you want to find, and how is that all related, and then we got to build it on your site. And I show you that in the analysis video. It's a private video for you. And the other part is the off-page, and this comes down to primarily domain authority and trust flow boosting systems. So we're building systems that's going to enable your site to be more authoritative and more trusted in Google's eyes. And maybe we need to do some Maps SEO. It's part of off-page, if necessary. Not everybody needs it. Some people do. Maybe some people need it more than others. And then we have to create a plan for content creation. We're not talking about having a full-time blogger writing for you every day. That's not it at all. In fact, the amount of content, the way that I show you how to create content, high-quality content that's engaging, which helps with SEO, but also helps with conversions and getting customers, you can do in a month, for a whole month of content, it can take you an hour of work once you know what you're doing. And even like the first time you do it, I think you could do it in 2 or 3 hours. And so it's really not a big commitment, and I do have a heavy preference to clients creating content. It just comes out better. You understand your market better than I ever will, no matter how many questions I ask, no matter how much time I spend digging down in there. And like I said, it's heavily video-centric. Videos are extremely valuable. The value of an article written versus a video created from an SEO standpoint is astronomical. it's like 1,000 times more valuable. It's literally, and it can a lot of times it can be faster. Not only that, but so this video that I'm making right now, I can have it transcribed, and I've got an article. So you can take a video and you can make an article out of it. You can take it and you can make an audio out of it. You can take it and you make images out of it. So a video can also be turned into every other piece of content as well. So it's just there's really no reason not to make videos if you're going to make any sort of content at all. So if you really want to know what's going on with your site, you want a full SEO audit, like I've shown you in here, give me a call or shoot me an email or fill out my discovery form. I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.